Hello and welcome back. I just finished off last week's vlog and now I'm starting this one. It's Tuesday. I got back from Michigan yesterday and went to a Chase Rice concert. Well, it wasn't just Chase Rice. It was a small band called Striking Matches, and then it was Chase Rice, and then it was Hunter Hayes. I just watched a little bit of Hunter Hayes. We really just kind of went for Chase. Sorry, Hunter. I like your music, but I like Chase Rice a little bit better. Him and Kenny Chesney, they're my favorite countrymen. It was a charity, fundraiser concert at one of the country bars here in Charlotte. Today is day 1 of 5, I'm on call for 5 days, but I have OPR today. It's 11:45 to 3:45. I have not had the chance to get groceries or anything yet, so I'm probably just gonna put in for, we call them leave preferences. So I'm probably just gonna leave preferences for a 1 or 2 day, and transatlantic obviously, just because I don't have any food with me and I don't like being stuck eating hotel food or airport food because it gets expensive and there's not always very good options. Yeah, I'm most junior, so that's why I'm probably for OPR, so that's why I'm probably going to end up bidding for a 1 or 2 day so that way I don't get stuck with a 4 day. It's Thursday now. To catch y'all up, Tuesday was a hot mess and a very long day. So we had about 15 minutes left of OPR when they called to use all 4 of us. They deadheaded us on a flight to Philadelphia that was already overbooked. Not only were 2 or 3 people already going to have to go on a different flight, but then they had to remove 4 additional people to get us on. We get to Philadelphia, and we were supposed to end up just working this flight back to Charlotte that was supposed to depart Philly at 7:55. Once we got there, we saw that it was delayed until 9:35. So I'm like, something's going on here. And the flight number was a little odd, and the pairing number was a little odd, and so I had a feeling that it was an international flight. So I pulled it all up, and sure enough, it was Frankfurt to Charlotte, Frankfurt, Germany. And what happened is it diverted. Now, I originally thought that maybe it just diverted to Philly for some odd reason, and then the crew went illegal, so they had to have 8, because it was an Airbus 330, so there's 8 flight attendants, and they used us 4, and then called out 4 Philly people. We asked the Philly flight attendants when they got called, and they said that they all got called about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So scheduling knew that this flight was already delayed until 9:35. We landed in Philly at about 5, a little after 5. But the fact that the flight was then delayed until 9:35, legally we could have had the company send us to a hotel. If you're going to have to be sitting at the airport for 4 more hours, then the company, if you request one, has to provide a hotel room, a day room for you. Scheduling neglected to tell us that the flight was delayed. We were already going to be sitting there for a little over 2 hours. Now we're sitting there for about 4 hours. What ended up happening is the Frankfurt flight diverted to London because the bathrooms stopped working. Then they sat in London for 3 or 4 hours before they headed over to Philly, and they had to do Philly because the crew wasn't going to be legal to fly all the way back to Charlotte. But what's frustrating is they used us OPRs knowing that it was already delayed, crazy late, and they were calling out 4 Philly reserves anyway. Why didn't they just call out 8 Philadelphia reserves? Because they had to put them up in hotel rooms and then deadhead them back the next morning. It was just stupid. We didn't end up actually leaving Philly until 10-something. None of those passengers were happy. They got stuck in London, and then when they came to Philly, they all had to go through customs and immigration, claim and recheck their bags, and get back on the plane. So they were all tired and pissed off, and we just kind of get to sorry, it's only an hour flight to Charlotte. And most of them then had somewhere else to go and were either going to stay the night in the airport or have to get a hotel room. It was just a hot mess. So I didn't end up getting home until about 12:30 or so. And then I had noon OPR again yesterday. So by the time I got to bed, I really had just enough time to get up and run a couple errands. I didn't get to work out. And then yesterday, OPR, I sat I didn't get anything from OPR, but I did have to help board twice. The reason that they call us up is like if the crew or a crew member is going to be delayed or is running late but is still going to make the flight, like if they're still going to make departure time but they're not going to be there early enough to board, then they'll send up an OPR so that way they can get boarding and they don't delay the flight. Yesterday when I got home, I did most of my errands, worked out, passed out. Today I have the 7 o'clock OPR, so I have to be there by 6:45, and I get done at 10:45. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia right now. It's 12:17 at night, in the morning, whatever you want to call it. So I guess technically it's Saturday. I'm on an all-nighter. Yesterday, Thursday, I got the late OPR, which is from 7 to 11. It was dead. Nothing happened. Except I did accidentally delete all of my pictures between May of this year and now. I spent a good hour having a panic attack and crying about all my lost pictures. Luckily, some of them my favorite ones I had uploaded, most of my favorite ones I had uploaded to Facebook. And a couple of them I have a blog folder that I put pictures in that I want to do include in blog posts whenever I get around to it. So some pictures like from San Diego, Denver, London, New York, and LA. Some of those pictures were saved, but all of my main pictures are gone, and most of my Paris pictures, I uploaded 5 to Facebook, so those 5 I still have. Paris and Maine are gone, and I took some really awesome pictures in Maine. The ones that I think I'm upset about the most are just like the stupid little pictures that I had, like of Tyler or of my parents' dog or of my parents, because those are stuff that it's personal, so I don't really, they're just special little moments or nothing moments, so I don't upload them to anything because I don't need my entire life on social media. I'm not one of those people that uploads every single picture I take, but so those pictures are gone, and that's what sucks because I don't get to see those people a lot. And I could spend a few $100s and have somebody find them because they're still, what happens when you delete something and they didn't go to the trash. That's the first thing I looked at was the trash, and they didn't go there, they're gone. But what happens when you delete something is it's still there, it's still in your computer somewhere, but it gets overwritten by new information. I turned my computer off and started looking at options, and I called Apple, and they directed me to a third party that could fix it, could get on and open up and look at everything and see how many of the pictures were still hadn't been overwritten yet. And I turned my computer off probably 10 or 20 minutes after it happened, so if any, it would have just been a handful. But anyway, yeah, I don't have the money. Ooh, I don't even know if I was in there. I don't have the money for that. So I talked to my mom, and something that I'd been putting off for a very long time was getting an external hard drive. And yeah, that's going to be an early Christmas present from my parents now. Hopefully within the next week or two I'll have an external hard drive. And I'm backing up everything. Pictures for me, I'm a very sentimental person, and I just love photography. So pictures that I take they're very important to me. I was joking with my mom. I was like, my closet, all my clothes I could lose them, or if I lost all my clothes, whatever. Yeah, it would suck having to spend money to get more clothes, but they're just material objects. Those pictures I can't get back, and that sucks. Lesson learned, I guess. So today I was on call. I came on call at 2, and an all-nighter popped up, or ODAN. It's just you're on duty all night is what it is. We departed at like 10:30 in Norfolk. I need to go to bed. Norfolk is just a 50-minute flight. But so what happens with an all-nighter is you do like one of the last flights out, and then you work the first flight back in the morning. So that's why it's on duty all night. Our van time is at 6. I just took a melatonin so that I can pass out and pass out hard. Because I have to wake up at 5, so I have to wake up in 4.5 hours. The melatonin's kicking in. Yeah, 4.5 hours. These are rough, but then I'm pretty much off tomorrow because I won't end up going back on call until 7 in the evening. And I'm only good for the one day, so if something pops up, it would have to be just a turn, so we'll see. But I pretty much have tomorrow off now, so that's good. All the knobs.